Look around you. The financial system you interact with every single day is a ghost town. The stock market tickers you track on your phone, the commercial high street banks where you keep your savings, the public real estate listings on the internet. They are no longer where the true architecture of global power and wealth operates. In 2026, we are witnessing the complete, irreversible bifurcation of the global economy. While the general public is trapped in a state of permanent hyperfocus on domestic inflation, consumer price indexes, and basic retail assets, the sovereign elite have silently decoupled from the entire apparatus. They have crossed the bridge into the world of private capital, an untraceable, parallel financial infrastructure specifically engineered to keep massive wealth completely immune to legal overreach, systemic inflation, and aggressive wealth taxation. The financial rules you were taught in school were designed to keep you compliant, predictable, and heavily taxed. But the architects of the system play a completely different game. Today, we are pulling back the heavy curtain on the hidden vaults of the 0.001%. We are exposing exactly where the sovereign elite are moving their fortunes to stay completely untouchable while the public net tightens. Welcome to Primal Capital. Let's look at the raw truth. The first pillar of the private financial fortress is a psychological and legal shift called sovereignty arbitrage. The average citizen operates under the profound psychological programming that their passport, their geographical birthplace, and their local government define their financial boundaries. To the middle class, a passport is an identity. To the ultra-wealthy, a passport is simply a utility bill that can be swapped, upgraded, or discarded at any moment. Sovereignty arbitrage is the strategic practice of breaking up your life, your legal entities, and your assets into completely separate, unlinked international jurisdictions. The elite do not keep all their eggs in one national basket. They incorporate their operating businesses in one highly favorable tax haven. They structure their intellectual property in a second jurisdiction. They clear their private banking transactions through a third nation with absolute banking privacy laws, and they hold personal citizenships in a fourth or fifth country through high-level citizenship by investment programs. By distributing their physical, legal, and digital existence across the global map, they effectively become citizens of nowhere, yet masters of everywhere. If a government decides to introduce an aggressive wealth tax, freeze domestic bank accounts, or enforce hyper-restrictive financial regulations, the sovereign elite don't protest. They don't vote. They don't care. With a single click, their corporate structures shift their capital across the digital grid before the public even reads the headlines. They remain completely bulletproof because they have mastered the art of geographical detachment. Ask yourself a critical question: why don't the ultra-rich own massive portfolios of traditional publicly traded stocks anymore? The answer is simple. Public markets are heavily monitored, completely transparent to regulatory agencies, and easily manipulated or seized during times of geopolitical crisis. If your wealth can be deleted or frozen with the press of a government button, you do not truly own it. You are just renting it. The new financial elite build their fortunes entirely inside non-public, non-correlated assets. They are heavily moving capital into private credit markets, where they act as the hidden banks for massive corporations, collecting high-yield interest completely outside the traditional banking grid. They invest heavily in litigation finance, funding multi-million-dollar high-stakes corporate lawsuits in exchange for a massive guaranteed percentage of the final courtroom settlement. Furthermore, they are quietly cornering the market on critical hard assets that the public rarely considers. Subterranean water rights in agricultural valleys, private communications satellite infrastructure, and deep tech algorithms before those companies ever announce an IPO. These are assets that do not have a public ticker symbol. You cannot look up their daily price on Yahoo Finance. They are completely decoupled from the emotional volatility of Wall Street and the retail investing public. Traditional diversification is a retail bedtime story meant to preserve wealth for people who are already comfortable. But the sovereign elite build real power by occupying the private spaces where the public is mathematically barred from entering. We have officially entered the most volatile phase of human economic history, the era of extreme hyper-leverage. In the past, during the industrial and early internet ages, becoming a multi-billionaire required thousands of physical employees, massive corporate headquarters, global supply chains, and immense logistical operations. This physical footprint made the wealthy highly visible and deeply dependent on national infrastructure. Today, advanced artificial intelligence and automated private algorithms have created a terrifying new phenomenon, the one-person megacorporation. A single highly sophisticated sovereign individual, leveraging private custom AI arrays and cloud-based automated leverage, can capture the exact same market cap, efficiency, and revenue as a legacy enterprise with 10,000 workers. This means that capital is no longer spreading through the economy via wages and corporate employment. Instead, wealth is concentrating at an exponential rate into single, highly automated private nodes. The elite do not need a massive workforce anymore. They only need computation power, sovereign legal code, and private digital infrastructure. If your primary economic strategy in 2026 is still based on selling your physical time or your linear human labor to a corporate matrix, you are competing against an unaligned, hyper-scalable digital system that never sleeps, never taxes, and never slows down. The capital concentrator is running at full speed, and it is leaving public labor completely behind. The conclusion we must face is both cold and absolute. The public financial market, the game of high-yield savings accounts, retail index funds, and traditional domestic employment, is working exactly as it was designed to. It was built to consume your focus, vacuum your purchasing power through inflation, and keep the legacy national debt systems alive on your back. The sovereign elite understand this psychological trap perfectly. They do not spend their energy trying to fix a rigged public system, nor do they complain about the rules. They simply buy their way out of it. They consciously make the psychological transition from public operators who follow retail trends to private architects who design their own economic reality. They understand that real wealth is not about having a high balance in a local bank account. It is about having absolute control over asymmetric, private legal structures that state authorities cannot reach. If you are still operating on the outdated software of relying on a single domestic payroll, a traditional savings account, and public retail investment strategies, you are actively funding the financial net that confines you. The bridge between public slavery and private sovereignty is open, but it requires you to completely rewrite your mental parameters. The complete separation of capital is no longer a future prediction. It is the active reality of 2026. The public rules simply do not apply to the individuals who control the hidden architecture of the map. You can continue to trade your finite human hours for a dying, heavily taxed currency within the public net. Or you can begin to study the cold, raw mechanics of private sovereignty and completely alter the financial trajectory of your lineage forever. The choice to remain a battery for the matrix or become an architect of your own wealth is entirely yours. Welcome to the next tier of ownership. Welcome to Primal Capital. Subscribe to the channel right now if you are ready to stop watching from the sidelines. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below on where you believe the elite will hide their wealth next. We will see you in the next documentary.